17 dead, 3 deadly strikes, and counting. Trump declares war on narcoterrorists in the Caribbean, targeting vessels in international waters. Maduro trains civilians in weapons and anti-aircraft systems, warning the world. The barracks go to the people. A deadly standoff escalates without rules, law, or restraint. The Caribbean Sea has again become a flashpoint of military tension as President Donald Trump announced on September 19th that American forces had conducted their third lethal strike against what he described as a narcotics trafficking vessel.
On my orders, the Secretary of War ordered a lethal kinetic strike on a vessel affiliated with a designated terrorist organization conducting narco-trafficking in the U.S. Southcom area of responsibility. Intelligence confirmed the vessel was trafficking illicit narcotics and was transiting along a known narco-trafficking passage en route to poison Americans.
The strike, according to Trump, killed 3 individuals he labeled as male narco-terrorists aboard the vessel, which was operating in international waters. This brings the total death toll from recent U.S. operations to 17 people across 3 separate incidents since early September.
The strike killed 3 male narco-terrorists aboard the vessel, which was in international waters. No U.S. forces were harmed in this strike. Stop selling fentanyl, narcotics, and illegal drugs in America, and committing violence and terrorism against Americans.
The military buildup supporting these operations is substantial in recent memory. 5 F-35 stealth fighters landed in Puerto Rico on September 13th, joining a flotilla of 7 warships and 1 nuclear-powered submarine positioned throughout the southern Caribbean. This show of force represents a significant commitment of America's most advanced military assets to what the administration frames as counter-narcotics operations. However, the Trump administration has provided remarkably little detail about the intelligence basis for these strikes or the specific legal justification for conducting lethal operations in international waters. The first strike on September 2nd allegedly targeted members of the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, though Venezuela has disputed this characterization entirely. The lack of transparency has prompted demands from US lawmakers for the government to justify these military actions, demands that have thus far gone largely unanswered. The strikes are occurring against the backdrop of Washington's ongoing campaign to remove Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro from power, including a doubled bounty of $50 million placed on his head for alleged drug trafficking connections. The Venezuelan response has been swift and uncompromising, with officials characterizing the American actions as nothing short of warfare conducted without formal declaration. Defense Minister Vladimir Padrino Lopez delivered perhaps the most pointed assessment of the situation during a televised press conference on Friday.
It is an undeclared war, and you can already see how people, whether they are drug traffickers or not, have been executed in the Caribbean Sea, executed without the right to a defense.
The Venezuelan defense minister's analysis cuts to the heart of a troubling legal question that has received insufficient attention. Drug trafficking, while illegal, is not a capital offense under US law, yet American forces are conducting what amount to extrajudicial killings in international waters. Meanwhile, President Maduro has responded to what he perceives as an imminent invasion threat by ordering an unprecedented mobilization of civilian populations. On September 18th, he announced that military forces would begin training residents of low-income neighborhoods in weapons handling, effectively preparing for asymmetric warfare against a potential American invasion.
Next Saturday, September 20th, the barracks go to the people. The military goes to the people. They are going to visit the 5,336 communal circuits. The Bolivarian National Armed Forces go to the people, to the communities. That means the equation is perfect. People and armed forces and people. We are going to the barracks. Now, the barracks with their weapons go to the communities to deploy them, to inspect, to teach all those who enlisted and all the neighbors what it is to handle the weapons system. Because the Constitution mandates that the defense of the homeland is a responsibility, a co-responsibility between the military forces and our people. So, how do you like that?
This civilian militarization represents a significant escalation in Venezuela's defensive posture.
Last Saturday, the people went to the barracks and were received there with an embrace. And there they learned to handle anti-aircraft systems, FAL rifles, AK, Igla S launcher. They learned to operate. I even saw some of you operating tanks, amphibious tanks. A surprise for the world, our people in the 312 barracks and military units of the country.
The Venezuelan government has escalated its response to the international level, with Attorney General Tarek William Saab calling for a United Nations investigation into what he characterized as crimes against humanity.
The use of missiles and nuclear weapons to murder defenseless fishermen on a small boat is a crime against humanity that must be investigated by the UN.
Venezuela has also launched 3 days of military exercises on La Orquilla Island, strategically located near where American forces intercepted and held a Venezuelan fishing vessel for 8 hours over the weekend. Perhaps most significantly, even Venezuelan opposition figures who have historically opposed Maduro are now questioning American tactics. Enrique Capriles, a 2-time presidential candidate and persistent Maduro critic, stated Friday that he would not support any US invasion, arguing that the solution is not military but political, and that Trump's actions were counterproductive and entrenching those in power. This rare moment of Venezuelan political unity across traditional divides suggests that American military pressure may be achieving the opposite of its intended effect, consolidating rather than weakening Maduro's position domestically, while raising serious questions about the legal and strategic wisdom of conducting lethal operations in international waters without clear international legal authority.